How could this happen?
Dispatch 10346, did a medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
A Platteville police officer leaves a woman inside a cruiser parked in the middle of train tracks in Weld County.
She attempted to escape from the vehicle, was unable to because it was locked.
That woman hit by the train amazingly survives, and her attorney says she's getting ready to fight back against Platteville PD.
She was yelling, she was trying to escape.
Plus, a new cause of death listed for Elijah McClain.
It was too much for his weight.
We're going deeper on what this could mean for the upcoming trial for the officers and paramedics involved on that fatal day.
Was that reckless based on everything they were confronted with? Or was that criminal negligence?
And with fall comes the flu. Doctors are now warning that this flu season could be tough on kids in Colorado.
We need to say, okay, this might be the year that it really comes roaring back.
The video is quite frankly baffling. Platteville police officers leave 20-year-old Yorini Rios Gonzalez inside an officer's vehicle parked in the middle of train tracks.
And in the new body camera video released to Denver 7, you can see an officer react to hearing horns from the train while Rios Gonzalez is still restrained inside. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Denver 7's Bayan Wang spoke with Rios Gonzalez's lawyer and joins us live in our newsroom.
And Bayan, it's truly amazing that Rios Gonzalez was not killed after being hit by that train.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. She's incredibly lucky to be alive right now. I think anybody who watches that video would assume anyone inside that car would be killed, and that's frankly exactly why we've been asking authorities why that police cruiser was on the tracks in the first place. We haven't gotten any responses except for this video to draw from. It's the frantic moment officers noticed what was about to occur. A freight train colliding into a Platteville police cruiser parked on train tracks along Highway 85 and County Road 36.
Dispatch 10346, did a medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
Locked inside the police cruiser,
Lift your hands up. Turn around.
20-year-old Yorini Rios Gonzalez.
What's going on?
Police detained Rios Gonzalez for an alleged road rage incident earlier in the night.
Where are you taking? We're taking you to the car. Why?
About 1 minute and 9 seconds after Rios Gonzalez was placed in the back of the police cruiser handcuffed, the train's horn is heard for the first time in the distance on this body cam recording. About 7 seconds later,
She could have out that window.
another horn.
Who is that heart?
This time louder, but still no reaction from police. Over the next 8 seconds, even more horns are heard before these two officers realize Rios Gonzalez is in danger.
Time check.
She is awake and aware and able to have a conversation.
But still in the hospital, according to her attorney, Paul Wilkinson.
She has a broken arm that she has had surgery on, 9 broken ribs, a fractured sternum, broken teeth, injuries to her leg, back, and head.
Many questions remain. The biggest, why the officer parked the cruiser on the tracks, why that officer then put Rios Gonzalez in that cruiser, and why it took critical seconds to notice the approaching train.
Most alarming thing for me is that you can hear the train coming. And it's at nighttime and the train has lights also. So you can both hear and see the train coming.
Wilkinson says Rio Gonzalez heard and saw that train coming well before officers did.
She was trying to get everybody's attention.
But unlike those officers, she could do nothing to save herself.
She was trying to get their attention. She was yelling. She was trying to escape.
Rios Gonzalez's attorney says they are planning to to sue the Platteville Police Department, but because of the Colorado Governmental Immunity Act, the attorney says they can't sue for more than $424,000, even if Rios Gonzalez's medical bills exceed that amount. Live in the newsroom, Bayan Wang, Denver 7.
Yeah, that video is chilling. Bayan, thank you. And we did some digging into the intersection where this crash happened in Weld County, and we found the railroad crossing at Highway 85 and Weld County Road 36 has no signal, no lights, no crossing gate. And over the past 2 decades, there have been 4 crashes. No one has died. Platteville police have not released the name of the officer they put on administrative leave for that incident.
Simply put, this dosage of ketamine was too much for this individual. Those are the exact words inside the amended autopsy from the Adams County coroner report into the 2019 death of Elijah McClain. Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski joins us live in the studio with more on what we're learning on this updated autopsy report.
So, Jen, the updated autopsy now says that Elijah McClain's death was caused by the heavy dose of ketamine, as we know, that he was administered. So does this change anything for the trial moving forward?
And Jessica, that is the really big question here. Legal experts that we talked to say this amended autopsy actually helps the defense and are calling this a critical piece of evidence. Aurora officers put McClain in a hold, and then paramedics injected him with the powerful sedative ketamine. The original autopsy ruled his death undetermined. This newly released report changes the cause of death to complications of ketamine administered following forcible restraint. It also found none of the officers who detained McClain played a role in his death. And while the autopsy now acknowledges paramedics gave McClain too much ketamine for his weight, and he did overdose, the amount was still within therapeutic ranges. Former District Attorney Mitch Morrissey says those two details will help the defense.
It almost exonerates the police officers of anything that they did resulting in the death of this young man. And the therapeutic range issue, the fact that everybody recognizes that you may give something to someone in a therapeutic range and they may react to it as an overdose.
Morrissey says the amended autopsy likely helps the prosecution get a grand jury to indict because they only needed to prove probable cause, but believes the new autopsy could become a problem for the prosecution at trial. We did reach out to Elijah McClain's mom, Shanine McClain. Her attorney told us they are not commenting. The officers and paramedics charged in McClain's death are set to be arraigned in November, so we are still a long ways away from any kind of trial in this case.
It's definitely going to be an interesting trial now with that updated autopsy report being revealed.
A lot of new information.
Thank you, Jen. Well, tonight, the Aurora Firefighters Union put out a statement. However, part of that statement is factually incorrect. Looking closer tonight, the fire union tells Denver 7 that, quote, it is inappropriate for this organization to comment on the pending criminal charges against 2 Aurora firefighters. However, they then added, quote, this blatant change of the autopsy report during an election season should be extremely concerning. But that is not correct. The autopsy was amended and signed back in July of last year. The only reason this updated autopsy was released today was because Denver 7 joined other local media in filing a lawsuit to get the unredacted report. That was granted yesterday by a judge, and the report was finally released to us today at noon. Well, our Denver 7 digital team has composed an entire timeline of Elijah McClain's death. What has come afterwards and what is next with the trial? You can find that on Denver7.com. You can also see our past coverage on Elijah McClain right now on the free Denver 7 Plus app.
Next Monday, Aurora City Council could vote on a resolution that would ban Aurora Fire Rescue from adding any new sedative to the department for 3 years. Going deeper tonight, Aurora paramedics stopped using ketamine after the death of Elijah McClain. But as we've been reporting, Aurora's medical director introduced a new sedative called droperidol. Aurora's fire union is fighting back against the new drug and now pushing for this 3-year ban. So we will let you know if a decision on the ban is reached in City Council when they meet next week.
Colorado health experts tell us they anticipate flu season is going to arrive a lot earlier this year.
And on top of that, they say the virus could also be stronger due to the lower flu numbers that we're seeing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, Denver 7's Amy Wattis is joining live now in our newsroom.
And Amy, doctors say now is the best time to get your kids vaccinated for the flu?
Yeah, Ann and Jessica, but it's not just vaccine. For the flu, doctors are also talking about your kids' routine vaccines, saying that the pandemic created a lot of setbacks for people, which is why some kids and even adults are behind on their shots. That includes shots like tetanus, pertussis, and measles, mumps, and rubella, which is commonly known as MMR. Dr. Karen Wolf, who's the medical director in the ER at Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children, says getting routine vaccines like these are critical to preventing serious bacterial and viral infections that can cause serious illness. As for flu, she says the time to get the shot is now.
we've kind of had a break from flu the last couple of years, and so people need to know that that's, we can't count on that every year, right? Certainly masking and social distancing, I would presume, played a role.
Now, doctors typically look at Australia's flu data to compare what could come for the U.S., saying their flu season came sooner and was more severe, saying that could be the case here too. Coming up later tonight, we asked some parents if they've gotten their kids the flu shot and are up to date on their routine vaccinations. You'll hear from them tonight at 8 on Local 3 and 10 on Denver 7. Live in the newsroom, Amy Wattis, Denver 7.
Always want to beautify spaces, make things look cool and nice.
Improving the Park Hill community one mural at a time.
And this new addition honors a Denver native.
I chose a Chauncey Billups mural. Not only did I choose, but the community voted.
Just a beautiful first full day of fall today. I think you're going to like the first fall weekend too.
And third game's the charm?
Each week it is a little bit different, but yeah, we need to be more balanced across the board.
The Broncos are betting on everything finally coming together on Sunday night.
They looking to come in here and drag us through the mud, and we looking to do the same.